Welcome back to another episode of Simple Chat. My name is Janine Cassio. I'm the CEO and founder of Simple Lending Financial.
My name is Sydney, and I'm the COO of Simple Lending Financial.
And on today's episode, we are talking about growth and mainly focus on the growth of Simple Lending Financial, especially that we've just moved into 3,000 square feet in the Galleria. And those not familiar with Houston, Galleria is a prime spot here. But yeah, it's just exciting because we were just working out of our investment home. An investment home.
Yeah.
Was just a temporary spot, but I didn't realize how temporary it would be. I thought maybe like 1 or 2 years, right? I think we both had that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just like, we need more space, we need more parking when we have happy hours. There were just so many people coming. But to even backtrack even more than that, Simple Lending Sydney was the first employee. Maybe Saad was working too, but one of the first employees of Simple Lending Financial, and we were actually out of my house.
Which is so crazy because that was a year ago too. Like we only moved into the house office. That's what I call it, the house office. What was that, beginning of December? So we weren't even there for a full year. We outgrew that, I want to say, by like springtime.
Yeah. So what's it been like, Sydney, being in a fast growing startup?
Crazy. It's like, I was thinking about it this weekend, actually, how the Austin NPLA, which we're going to in October, that was my very first conference that we went to, and how just being in that space with people, other people in the industry, and like people who are bigger than us too, but like, one, seeing them be so successful, and then two, like seeing people like appreciate you and all the work that you've done too, I think was huge for me. And seeing what's possible, because before it was just you and me in the office, like, and there's
you weren't very exposed to the industry. You were new to the industry, and that's a good thing about this industry too, is that there are a lot of mentors in this space. And some of my mentors, one being my mentor through the NPLA, who's Mike Tedesco. He self-started a company and has grown it, and he started in his attic. And that just made me laugh because I'm like, hey, at least I had an office space.
At least it was AC.
It wasn't like, oh, here's my attic, let's go all the way up there.
Not in the Houston.
That's like, that made me just feel good about, like, this is where we're at, and be okay with where we're at. And now there's Simmons Bank down the hall, who's a major retail bank, and then Simple Lending Financial right next to it, within only 2 years too. So it's a good staple to see how far we can go. And other mentors of mine, like Eric Abramovich and Jeff Tesh, like, they probably are closing like 700, 800 loans a month. So it's nice to know that that's achievable in this space as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just with like the conference, I remember coming back that week, coming into the office, just with the whole new mindset too. Like, it's just crazy to like be, what's the word, like infiltrated with it. Like, you jump right into like where everyone's talking about private lending, all of that. Like, you're meeting so many people. And then I came out of it back to your home office and just set like a whole new like fire under me. So it's crazy that like we're at that. It's not really a full circle moment, but it almost is, because like that whole year.
I think every time we went to these conferences, we actually came back with newfound like mindset. And we, essentially outgrew some of the people that worked for us at first. And it was like, now we're making it once we got the home office, we made it mandatory to come to the office Monday through Friday. And naturally people fell off that were coming once or twice a week, not fully committed. And it's like, instead of like being like, oh, and feeling like rejection of like, oh man, we're losing people. No, it was never like that. We always had the mindset of
shaking off.
We're shaking off what's not meant. And I think that's a good mindset to go into with growth, of attracting the right people and finding the right people. And I'm going to reference Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. And the number one thing is to find the people the right people for your bus. So I think that's a major step. And to know that we've had a completely different team this time last year. Yeah. Everyone is brand new. Everyone is newly fresh of 2024. But within the people we've hired recently, the most recent hires, I've said, like, now we've built a strong foundation. Like, a lot of the first 2 years was figuring out our foundation, and now it's growth mode. Because we have such a good core people that are like, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. This is what, like, you know, Diana and Moises speak of helping the Spanish community. Yeah. Like, everyone has their purpose.
Side gig. It's not the side gig. 3 jobs at once. This is my 3rd job. It's these people are bought in, which is cool to
which is how
say.
We are. Yeah. So it's like we found everyone else that's also on the bus with us.
With a startup too, like, that's what you need. You need the people who are going to be all in, give their all into it, sacrifice their time, their resources, all of that. Like, we were working, like 10 to 4 before? And now we're working 9 to 5, and then Sundays we're here until 6. We come in at 8 to 6. Like,
for sure.
It's a growth at all costs, like, kind of feeling where, like, I've felt like that for the past year, like, growth at all costs, like, sacrifice, like, an extra hour. Like, what's an extra hour? I miss the traffic if I stay in the office for an extra hour. Where, like, the team before that, like, wasn't very growth at all costs mindset. But it feels like this team that we have now, they're willing to do whatever it takes to get to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a good example too, like, throwing, you know, we have all the big titles at True Real Company, which we've transformed into, have, like, Juliet stepping into the Chief Growth Officer position, just like how you stepped into Chief Operating Officer. And I think being in, like, now on the leadership team, it's all about, like, serving and helping build up people around you. And you're a good example of that too, right? Because we had just last month, which was our biggest month yet, a revenue goal. And I messaged you on the side. I'm like, I know you brought in the most revenue, but we have to give the bonus to Diana and make everyone feel like they're contributing to the success. And you know, I referenced the podcast on Phil Jackson leading the Chicago Bulls to championships of how everyone needs to be one, and we have to move together, and everyone has to contribute and feel like they're valued. And we do come from a set of, like, being mindful, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. And I think when you do that as a collective, you become unstoppable. And I do truly feel like our team's unstoppable. And I feel like we're here and we're serious. And now that we have a Galleria address, we're even more serious.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm ready. Is it Monday?
I know. We came in, set up everything.
Lauren, our marketing and personal assistant, is here on a Sunday. Like, can we, to shoot this podcast, because, like, we're nonstop. Like, we really are.
Came in, we organized stuff. There was, like, a ton of boxes back here, moved things around, got everything ready for the team to come in tomorrow. And then recently I've been seeing 11/11 a lot, which we all know 11/11 is, like, the good luck time, like, all of that. And I mean, even for, like, the past year, every time I see 11/11, I'm like, 11/11, make a wish. And so I'll do that in the office. I'll text my friends. I'll do all of that. So it's cool. It's cool. I don't know, like, what I'm, like, waiting on, but I feel like I have the affirmation that it's coming. And then now seeing 11/11, even when we were setting things up today, it was 11/11, and I made note of it, and just acknowledging it, acknowledging where you're at, being present.
Yeah, I think a lot of the signs and picking up on things is just, like, a little affirmation that we're on the right track.
It's like a little, like, head nod. Like, it's just like, all right,
like, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
Like that, That's my little woo-woo.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Simple Chat. We have a happy hour coming up and a grand opening of our office. We'd love to invite you guys here, check out the space and meet the team. It's on October 23rd. And just keep up with Simple Lending, because we're moving fast, things are changing, and we're growing, and I would love for you guys to be a part of it.
Yeah, this is just the beginning too. There's way more to come.
Make sure you like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Share this if it's been inspirational or helpful to you. And thank you.